All right, we are live. Hopefully, the sound is marvelous. The video is good. Everything is good. We're ready to go. If not, please let me know. But we are live. And last I looked, the Thai baht was 36.26, which is, hey, listen, if you're getting paid in dollars, man, it's phenomenal for you, considering how low it went in the last 6 months, a year ago, something like that. I know it went down to about 29, and this is really good news. It's good news for some Thais, and for others, it's not such good news, but we'll see what happens with that. Good morning, everybody. Sawadee Kap, Sawadee Ton Chow, and all that good stuff. I did not get to check the weather, but I'm going to assume just from experience that it's hot. Yesterday, the heat index, the feel like temperature was 107 degrees. I'm sure it's going to rain because it's supposed to rain all week, all next week. Tomorrow, I will be heading to Phuket, and I'm going to stream either tomorrow morning, depending on when I get there, or Saturday morning. But I'll do a short stream, hopefully from the beach or somewhere equally beautiful, for some beautiful bluff where there's nobody around, peace and quiet. So now, I was talking about this 36.28. I'm just wondering, is this reminiscent of the 94-95 collapse of the baht? Or is it more because of the strong dollar? I don't really know. I'd like to think that it's the strong dollar, but what's important is what it means for Thailand in the near future, and then later on, obviously, but the near future, because 36.28, hey man, tourists would come flocking, you would think. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, welcome to everybody. If you're new to the channel, I am Scott Mallon, in case you don't know. That's the name on the channel. I am an American in Bangkok. I've been married to the same Thai woman for about 21 years now, but I've been living in Thailand for 27. We have 2 sons, currently in university. And I've been here for now, it's almost the 28th year. But whether you're a tourist, you're dreaming of moving to Thailand, or you're somewhere, someone who is living in the land of smiles, this channel is dedicated to providing information, assisting, entertaining, and possibly enlightening you. I am here to tell you there is a path to escape that daily grind, if that's what you so choose, or a place to retire. There are many places, many good places to retire. We're going to go over that a little bit later here, but you can live the life you want. It's not all that difficult. You just a little planning, a little research. I always look at Jono as the model. The guy planned for 10 years to come over here, and he took 3-4 years with me, on the channel, and talking to me, going back and forth, and he really planned things out. Not everybody has to do that, but anyway, today, we're going to talk about a couple of things. The Thai government. One thing, I'm a little shocked, but the Thai government plans to charge, this is what they're saying, they plan to charge foreigners more than Thais for hotel rooms. Now, Anatin Charnvirakul, the Deputy Prime Minister of Thailand, and the Thai government have publicly been stating that they are out to court high dollar tourists. They want the big money. So not only do they want to charge foreigners more than Thais for hotels, they also want the big money. They want the wealthy, the affluent, the people who are willing to to part with a bundle of cash. Well, anybody who has a business, that's what they want. They want the big money, of course. So I understand that. I think it's about the way that they go about talking about getting to what they want, getting what they want. Hey, Carlos, how you doing? But anyway, with regards to this hotel thing, we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. And I would say the best thing to do when you hear these kind of things is to sit back, relax, and kind of watch the show, and then watch them backtrack or just watch it just disappear. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But let's talk about that in a few minutes. I got 36.28. The last I looked, which is, wow, that's all I got to say. I've been transferring money over as much as I can. It keeps going up. I'm like, I better transfer some more. How much can I transfer? I don't have an endless supply. I can just go, all right, I want to keep doing this. Let me just keep transferring money. It doesn't work that way. But anyway, it's good. It's good for people who are getting paid in U.S. dollars. Now, in case you haven't heard, in case you don't know, in case you want another option, the LTR, the long-term residence visa, has been finalized. It becomes available on September 1st. I'm going to put the link. I'm going to put some links in the chat. I'm also going to put the links down in the description where you can find all the information about my channel, about me, how you can help support the channel, all that kind of stuff. But I'm also going to put it in like I said, I'm going to put it in the chat as well as the description. And so this is some interesting stuff. I find it interesting. And then to compound the thing, I just got a message from longtime viewer Tom. He sent me an attachment, and it showed that not only is Thailand implementing this 10-year visa, but now Cambodia is jumping into the fray. And I would say that their 10-year visa is a little bit easier, but we're going to take a look at that. So these are the things we're going to talk about. We got the Thai government saying, oh, we need to have dual pricing for the hotels. That's one thing. We're going to talk about the new LTR visa. We're also going to talk a little bit about the Cambodian 10-year visa. So that's what we got going this morning. Good morning, everybody. If you haven't clicked the thumbs up, please remember to do so at some point. If you like the chat, you like the channel. If you haven't subscribed, go for it. Smash the button. If you haven't hit the join button to become a member of the channel, please do so. That would be greatly appreciated. But let's get into it here because it's, like I said, some interesting stuff. Now, the Thai government plans to charge more than for foreigners than Thais for hotel rooms. Now, if you just listen to that alone, it screams, I want to say, stupidity. However, here's the thing. It's not going to happen. This is never going to happen. The Tourism Ministry plans to ask hotel operators to implement a dual tariff structure under which foreign visitors may be charged rates similar to pre-pandemic days, while locals may continue to enjoy discounted rates. It's not going to happen. Now, with regards to what Carlos is saying, yes, the Thai government definitely needs to take care of its people, but guess what? It doesn't. The Thai government doesn't do much for these hotels. These hotel owners are on their own. They're sinking or swimming on their own. The Thai government is not going to make a difference with them, at least long term. And they have not, that's why they're screaming and yelling to open up. They need the customers. They need people to come in. There we go. It's a little better, a little less harsh. And so while I agree with you, Carlos, wholeheartedly, There's a lot of people that, they're struggling. This is not completely over yet. It's very easy to think, oh, well, we can take the mask off now. It's over. But it's not over. Let's see better. I'm picky about the light, yeah, I wish that the government would, but you just look at their kind of social welfare state system. It's relatively non-existent, okay? You can't count on the Thai government to take care of the people, and that's a problem. And even them saying this, first of all, that it irritates a lot of foreign tourists who will see this. If this catches on internationally and it's seen by people, how does it look? Some people may go, oh, Thailand is such a poor country. But there's a lot of people, they've come to Thailand, they know they're not that poor. Some people are poor, yes, but they're not going to benefit. The hotel owners would benefit, and I don't think they would benefit. So let me just talk about this a little bit. Let me get to my information here. The Thai government looks at foreigners as ATM machines. That they are the cash cow, and you can say otherwise. However, from the people that I have spoke with, the perception is that this place is greedy, they're money hungry, and when is it going to end? They're already planning this new entry tax. They have not spelled everything out yet. How are they going to implement it? And a lot of times what happens is they say these things and then it just dies a slow death. You don't hear about it for years. And then maybe they have something and it's a watered down version. I don't know. It really depends. But, for this entry tax, who are they going to apply it to? Foreign tourists? Expats? Thais and expats? Everybody? How are they going to implement it? Land? Sea entry? Flights? How are they going to handle this? They haven't said anything about it. And that's why they have postponed it and delayed it and suspended it and done all kinds of things. And that's what they do most of the time. If the perception of foreigners is that Thailand is getting to be less and less of a value and they think they're being gouged or nickel and dimed to death, then it is what it is. Thailand, they are always concerned about their image. Well, be concerned about the image of being a little too concerned with money. Because, while we know money is number one, everybody knows money makes the world go round. You need money. Okay, it's important, blah, blah, blah. But there is a difference between money being important and money being the only thing. Especially when it comes to tourists. Tourists are like, oh, yeah, here's the money. Okay, no problem. I pay. But I want to be treated well. They really need to understand this. And I don't think that the communication skills of the Thai government are the greatest. Now, from what I know of Thai people that I've come to know over years, this includes my wife and friends, Thai friends, and people in the family, they're not always the greatest at communicating things. Now, maybe that has to do with, the way that their language and their culture functions. I don't know. But, it's a bit much. In Orange County, let me read some of these here. In Orange County and Florida, the theme parks have a regular admission price and discount for those living in nearby zip codes. The Thai government needs to stop calling it farang pricing. Well, but it is farang pricing. That's the thing. It is farang pricing. It's based on your nationality. It's based on your skin color. There's a bit of a difference between, if you're an expat, listen, I look at it this way for me. Whatever. At this point, I'm like, I'll do what I got to do. If I really want to go somewhere, I'll pay the extra money. I don't always like it. I admit that. Sometimes I let my wife handle it because I just don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have to look at them. I want to go, you know, because I feel it's a bit racist. You know, racist, discriminatory, whatever you want to say. I understand their need to cater to Thailand first, Thais first, America first, Thais first. I understand. Hey, no problem. I don't have a problem with that. However, I think that they walk a fine line. They walk a fine line between earning revenue and creating a fun, helping, assisting, being part of, creating a fun, memorable experience that is worth every dime that the person spent, every dollar that they spent. I can tell you, listen, my mother and my sister, my family has been here a couple of times. My mother's been here like 4 times. My sister's been here twice with her kids. Now, I can tell you, my mother she's not concerned about, oh, you know, I got to pay an extra $5 to get into this place. She's not really concerned about that. However, she is concerned if it's, hey, this hotel, it's 1,000 baht. I saw it for 1,000 baht online, but guess what? Now, because you have a different skin color, because you come from somewhere different, now it's 3,000 baht or 2,000 baht. Now, that's not really what they're doing here, so let's not get carried away. Okay, I don't want to get too carried away. What they're saying is they just want to leave the discounts in place and then charge the regular prices for foreigners. However, I will tell you this is not going to happen. And I asked my wife about this. My wife is deeply into the hotel industry. She's deeply involved, we'll say. She's been doing this for, I don't know, 15 years, 20 years. She's been working in the industry. What she told me, she says, no, it's not going to happen. First of all, it would be a disaster if the Thai hotels just started saying, well, sorry, but, you know, we're going to charge you $1,500, and for Thais, it's $800. That's not going to happen right there. And the Thai government can only ask the hotels to do this. They cannot force them to do it. This is the thing. The Thai government just doesn't say, okay, raise your prices. That's how. This ain't China. They can't do that. Okay? They don't have that power. So that in itself negates everything. Because if they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. Now, not only this, reservation systems, online reservation systems, the way that the systems are set up, they allow for discounts, yes. But how do you know that somebody named Willie Johnson Suvarnabhumi, he's a Thai? Because he's got Suvarnabhumi in his name, some people would know this. But then what's the system going to? The system's not going to be able to decipher this. They're going to ask him, what are you? I'm an American. I have my Thai passport and citizenship, but I'm an American. That's how he thinks of himself. Okay, well, we're going to charge you more. Then he changes it to Thai, like my kids. You know, you wouldn't know that my kids are Thais from their names. You would never know. So they have to put their Thai citizenship in, which you do have to do. However, that would require a massive overhaul of the system, a massive overhaul of thinking by the hotels. It's changing the entire approach to hotelism, if you will. And I can tell you I will say one thing here. Listen, I know they're trying to take care of the Thai people. They want to make sure that, I don't know, but that's their their lone concern. That's their sole mission. I'm not going to get into everything else, but I will tell you this. One thing I remember of Nepal, they were genuine. Sure, I had to pay for things. I wanted to go on a little tour. I wanted to go around here, go there. I had to pay. You understand this. You go out, you got to pay. However, it was not only about, hey, come on, we're going, give me that money. They didn't have that greedy mentality that it seems, or some foreigners seem to think, that greedy perception that some Thais have, and the Thai government may have. Well, I'm not going to say one way or the other if they have it or not, when what I believe is, irrelevant. However, from what I've been told, a lot of people think that. You come here and it's all about the money. That's the wrong way to approach it. And, it's kind of like business. You approach a business and you approach it, hey, I want to make money. Of course I want to make money. I want to stay in business. That's the goal of business. However, I want to provide the best product, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's happy. The money will come. Now, Nepal, what I will say is there was, hopefully there still is, but there was an authenticity to the people. I'm not saying Thailand doesn't always have that, or doesn't have that. I'm sorry. Of course, there are some great Thai people. I think Thai people are among the best in the world, and they still are what really makes Thailand the country that it is. Their personality, their demeanor, their attitude, the way they handle it. It's the government. I think the government needs to figure out how to approach Westerners in a different fashion. They're coming at it from the Asian perspective. They need to look at it from a Western perspective. And what I will say about Nepal is that authenticity. I remember that. I remember that when I paid for something, I would negotiate with the guy, and it was all fun. It was all, okay, sir, I really don't think I can go that low, back and forth, and then, okay. Yeah, I got myself a deal. He made some money, and, but it was authentic. And I think Chuck would probably say that as well. And Chuck, for the people who are interested here, Chucky, our man on the ground, our big traveler, is, last I heard, he was in Paris, having the time of his life. So the Thai government can ask these hotel associations for everything they want. They can ask them for the sun, the moon, and the rain, but good luck. Good luck getting it. Because I don't know that the foreigners who are coming to Thailand now will look at that in a positive fashion. Oh, well, we want to help the Thais. We're going to pay extra. Well, when's that going to change? Because if it's going to change, that's one thing. Okay, for the next 3 months, we're going to do this, but you know what? It won't. It won't. And I can say that, yes, there are many big chains out there. They're not going to go by this. They're not going to allow this. It's not going to happen. As I said, hotels are not controlled by the Thai government. Yes, they have to abide by Thai laws, but this is not a law. They're just asking. Thai hotels, like any other hotel, they want to do what's best for them so that they keep making that revenue. They keep earning. So why wouldn't they offer discounts to foreigners to come to Thailand? Hey, come back. We're going to give you a 10% discount here. You're going to get a better rate here at this 4-star hotel than you will at the 3-star hotel down the road. Why wouldn't they do that? Because the Thai government doesn't want them to do that? So they're going to lose out on those customers? They might possibly. And you know damn well that there are people out there who are going, hey, listen, I got this 4-star hotel right here for $75. The 3-star one is $60. But I can get a discount on this $75 and it's going to make it the same price, or it's going to make it $5 more expensive, or whatever it is. I'm going with the 4-star. and they find a 3-star and a 3-star, they're right next to each other. There are people out there that will go, I'm paying $2 less. So I don't think this is going to work, and I think it's the wrong approach, and I think it sets a precedent that has become a constant theme. Where we want more money. We want more money from the foreigners. We want more. What about, hey, listen, tourism is our main source of revenue in the country. It is a huge source of money, revenue in the country. I acknowledge that. It's important. Think outside the box. You know, amazing Thailand is no more. It is still amazing. However, you need to change it up. Change your marketing approach. And, you know, listen, you want my honest opinion? Have them come to me. I'll talk to them. I'll tell them, hey, listen, foreigners don't want this bullshit. They don't want to hear this. I got to pay more money. Foreigners just, you know what they want to do? They want to pay the price that they think is fair. And like I keep saying, it's affordable. It allows them to be versatile. They can go here, go there. They want it to be a good value. And if you start messing around and say, well, it's this price for this guy. And you know, they do that in the telephone industry here, the mobile. One reason that I don't like True, besides the fact that a long time ago they provided some really lousy service. Now it seems they've gotten better. But it's not only True, it's AIS and all these others. They provide so many different plans that you can't determine. You ask them for the best plan, and they're like, well, they don't want to tell you the best plan because they want you to have to go, oh my God, which one is the, which way do I go? Now, I did get a message from somebody saying, you know, Hawaii is a luxurious destination, and, you know, don't get your panties in a bunch. Hawaii's always been that. As long as I've been alive, as long as I can remember, Hawaii's been a so-called expensive destination. Thailand is not. They're not, like I keep saying, they're not going to change from a VW Bug into a Ferrari overnight. It's not going to happen. So I think we ought to consider that. Okay, so I don't think this is going to happen. For all the talk that we're bringing out here. Dime bag, oh yeah, dime bag. Oh, well, you can get a dime bag nowadays. I do have a video coming out from the smoke shop, from a smoke shop. I do have a video coming out. I'm going to make it members only, though. Just because I don't want to be putting that stuff out on the internet, you know. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it up. I don't know. What does it matter? It's legal. That's the thing, you know. It's part of me that I'm like, reefer madness. Yeah, hotels are not going to agree to this. Hotels are going to be like, what are you talking about? Why would we not? We get 10,000 room nights at 1,000 baht because we're discounting it to 1,000 baht, and we only get 5,000 at 1,500 baht. So where's the extra money comes in when we discount it? Why would we give that away? Well, can't you work something out? Because the Thais, you know, we got to think about the Thai people. So what the government is doing, instead of the government, here's how I look at it. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm not a government official. I'm just saying. Thank you very much, Mr. Tom. I like that. Choke D to you. Don't be shy with the super chats, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any ladies watching. Appreciate it. What the hell was I saying? Yeah, Thai economics. They need to realize they're grasping at straws. They need to think of something more concrete. You know, I think that, you know, little things matter. When I go, listen, I went to in Kokut, I went to, I don't remember the name of the spa, the resort. It's like Kokut Resort and Spa or something like that. It was like 16,000 baht a night. Now, this was comped. We didn't pay for it. And at the time, that's, $550 a night or something like that. Now, if I had been saving all year, maybe I could afford to go a couple of nights. However, that's not the kind of place that I'm going to go to. Now, I'm not, a highly affluent person who, even if I had a couple million sitting in the bank, I'm not going to pay $550. You know why? Because I don't feel like I need to. When I go into a place, I want a clean place to take a dump. I want a clean bed. I want to know that I have the comforts, some of the comforts that I have available to me. I have those available to me. Excuse me. Should I want them? A little coffee maker. Hey, that's all nice. But you know what? Throw a couple tea bags on the desk. That's fine too. I'm easy. Now, everybody is not the same way as I am. There are some people, they want a little higher end place. I understand that. My wife is one of those, but she's very economical. She's not going to say, oh, we have to stay at this place. It's 5,000 baht a night. That would be very special for her. Or it would be comped. It's more like, all right, 40, 50 bucks, 1,500 baht. All right, that's fine. That's not a big deal. And is it a value? Is this like a place that maybe should be priced 2,500? It's like it's almost a 4-star hotel. Okay, well then it's a bargain, right? But I just don't see this. I just don't see this happening. And she was like, it's never gonna happen. She was like, what don't you understand? They're not gonna change it. It's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. She's like, why are you gonna talk about it if it's not gonna happen? I'm like, well, because I don't know that. I didn't know that until I talked to you. I didn't even think about, hey, what about revamping the whole system? You're going to have to revamp. Think about it. All the systems. You got Booking.com, you got Agoda, you got Kayak. All these are linked together. You got to figure out these hotels. And these hotels, I can tell you, they don't have people that will go in and sit there for days on end and just adjust everything. It's not going to happen. So I don't think it's going to happen. However, when they say this, it's just like Anutin saying, oh, we need to go for the high dollar people. He makes it sound as if we don't want those people who don't have money. We only want the people who have money. Okay, there are the haves and have-nots, right? One reason I haven't gone to Bhutan is because, first of all, I don't think the value is there. But second of all, because it's expensive. If I had a nice chunk of money and I still really had the feeling I wanted to go there, all right, I'd probably go there. But I try to make it a good value. That's my thinking. Now, some people don't think that way. They have that screw you money. So it's a little bit different. And there is something to be said about, like, Phuket. There are areas of Phuket that are more expensive. Now, you go down, like, Soi Bangla, you're not going to find $1,000 a night resorts. You go to some other places, and okay, you get a beautiful room. And, I stayed at I think it was the Hilton, right before is the Hilton or the Hyatt? I always forget. It was right before the tsunami. I stayed there a while back. The only reason that I stayed there was because there was a boxing convention going on, and I wanted to be right there because I knew that all the fighters, most of the people would be right there at the hotel. And that way, I'm sitting in the lobby, and who comes in but Roberto Duran or, somebody like that. Hey, how you doing, buddy? You want a coffee? That kind of thing. That's why I stayed there. And to me, I was like, holy shit, this place is expensive. It was like $150 a night, man. But anyway, let me read some of these comments, then we're going to move on to the next subject. If I have to pay through the nose for a holiday, I will go to Japan, Italy, France, Hawaii, the U.S. Yeah, or the Maldives, or some of these other places that are known as being really high-end. You know, some people want to go to Mykonos. You know, other people, they want to go to Cannes or somewhere like that. You know, it depends on where you want, but there are a lot of places to choose from, and people with money, they'll go to all of them. They go, oh, listen, I told you guys, I saw a thing with the Kardashians. Now, they're filthy rich, right? You would think, at least on paper, or at least from what people say and what you see online. They are filthy rich. They went to Thailand. You know, they didn't really concentrate on Thailand. And to be honest, you know, it was like, oh, I'm going to go get a massage. It's so wonderful. They had a nice room. They paid big money for their room, for sure. Now, they probably didn't pay. They probably got it comped. Just because of the exposure. But, like, most people aren't going to those places, $1,000 a night hotel. They're not going there. There's very few people. Like I said, you know, it's like a triangle. The tip of the triangle only has the very best fighters, the very best basketball players, the very wealthiest people. It's like, you know, 2-3%, if that. 1%. As you go down, less money, a lot more people. It's that simple. All right. They need to do this on a micro scale, micro level. Don't market the entire place as high dollar destination. Market certain places to high dollar travel. Yeah, I mean, you know, how, honestly, is Pattaya a luxurious destination? I'm sorry, I don't think so. Is Phuket in certain areas? Where else? Okay, there are certain islands and things like that. Yeah, okay, I understand that. Some of the islands don't allow building. Okay, so yeah, I've seen places where they charge 4,000 or 5,000 baht for a night. They have like a resort on some island. There's not many people, and they charge an arm and a leg. Now that's not really for the ultra rich. And I don't know how many Thais are going to those places anyway, but you know, that's neither here nor there. I don't even need a TV in my hotel room. A good bed and bathroom is all I need. Yeah, you know what? I have watched less and less TV the older I get. I just don't care about it anymore. It's like a bunch of nonsense. Even the movies. My kids are going to the movies today. They said, we're going to see Thor. Do you want to go? Now they asked me, do you want to go see Top Gun Maverick? And I really didn't want to go. And you know, Alex was kind of pushing me to go. I go, Alex, I'll tell you something. I don't like Tom Cruise. I don't like him. I can appreciate what he's accomplished in his life. Okay, great. I don't like him as an actor. I kind of like Top Gun. Now looking at it, you know, what is it, 20 years later? It seems, you know, like it's pushing it. Leave it in its graveyard. Leave it for people to watch it, you know, in 50 years and go, wow, what a great movie. I love this. Don't bring it back. You know, they always want to bring it back because it's a cash cow because he's a money maker, you know. But they want to go see Thor today. Do you want to go see it? I don't think it's the kind of movie you'll like. It's about a superhero. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Where's the superheroes in life? I don't see them. Where's the superheroes? Maybe that's a reason to go watch it, but I don't see that because it's not reality. You know, and I'm based in reality. I try to base myself in reality. Las Vegas is Bellagio and Venetian for a high-level traveler. There are high-value shows. Meanwhile, those wearing the white beer. Yeah, well, that's the trick. You got to appeal to everybody. And like I was saying, why would you... It's like saying, oh, I'm only going to make shirts, you know, high-end shirts for men. Well, now you eliminated 50% of the market. Why not make for men and women? Am I allowed to say that? Men and women? Yes, I am. You know, and that's what they're doing. They're like, oh. You know, I understand you don't want to just appeal to backpackers who are less affluent. You don't want to push the $10 a night hotels. You want to push the higher end stuff. I understand that. Look at this beautiful place. It's only $499 a night. Hey, okay. It's like a car salesman. He wants to make the most profit on his car, right? Nothing wrong with that. But guess what? You want to go buy yourself a little. Well, I'm sorry, this is my first car there, Mac. I only got $1,200. All right, for that you can get this beat up VW Volkswagen. This Volkswagen, this VW Bug or whatever. Anyway, can appeal to both markets. We have all crazy thoughts, but most of us don't feel the need to verbalize our brain farts. I do. The government should think about what they announce. Well, that's part of their issue. And not only that, let's not just blame the government. You have to blame the Thai media. And it's not only the Thai media, it's media all around the world. I mean, let's face it. They're struggling. They're trying to, we got to get eyes on our content. And the content is constantly changing. Oh, my God. I understand. But, even my wife the other day is saying to me, I hate all this fake news. I'm like, you're finally realizing that a lot of the news that comes out, it's not even really, it's, this site says this and this site says that. They're completely opposite. Who do I believe? Let's see here. What are we talking about here? Let me read some of these. American companies are registered as Chinese companies in China. Most internet companies are registered in Delaware, U.S. Seychelles, south of France, Maldives, exactly. Why spend good drinking money on accommodations you can't enjoy while sleeping? Some cowboy on Gunsmoke said that. It's classic. I am a superhero endowed with the power of a credit card. Yeah, that's listen, that's the superpower nowadays. It's how much can you get? Think about the guys who they walk in and they're so well known and they're so rich. I mean, do you think that Warren Buffett, every place he goes, he has to pay in cash or pay with a card? I don't think so. I think places know him and they go, anytime Mr. Buffett comes in, just add it to its tab. They might give him a receipt, boom, or his assistant the receipt, and he goes on his merry way, and then, it gets taken out of the account or whatever. Tommy Bahamas. I like Tommy Bahamas. Don't be talking bad about no Tommy Bahamas. I love Tommy Bahama. Men and women, is that really woke? Don't ask me, because to me, hell no. It's not woke. I stay at the Waldorf in Ratchdemery. Men, women, and unclassified, undecided. We stayed a couple nights in a small village, 500 baht a night, with a sit-down toilet. There you go. Is it clean? Are there bed bugs? Are there cockroaches and rats everywhere? If it's clean and there are no cockroaches and rats, sometimes I'll go with a fan only. No air condition if you're in a place that's going to be a little bit cool. Tommy Bahamas has female stuff. I'm pretty sure. If they don't, they should. Yeah, they have. I know they. Yeah, they have. They have clothing for women, and they have cologne for women, perfume for women, and everything like that. Tommy Bahamas, to me, best swim trunks I've ever owned. I own two of them. And the reason I don't buy two of them here is because they're in the United States. I guess if I use a VPN or whatever, I just ship it to somebody in the States and have them carry them over. That'd be better. They're like 60, $70 for a pair of shorts, right? I mean, they're not dirt cheap or anything. But okay, they're nice. I like them, and they last. If I ship them over here, they cost me like $140. Crazy. Let's see here. When's the Vietnam trip? I don't know. Gennaro, have you not been listening? What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Tomorrow is Phuket. Vietnam was scheduled next month. However, my wife's boss told her, sorry, you already went. I'm going this time, you're not. Now, that could change, but it doesn't look like we're going to Vietnam. We should be going to the south of Thailand at the end of this month. And my buddy Steve is in Malaysia with his lovely wife, Michelle. And he's in Malaysia. And there is a chance I'll cross over and just go, stay there a couple days. That could be nice. But I don't know. And, then there's always the United States. We're trying to go back to the United States. So, we got a lot of things going on. I've been very busy lately, believe it or not. And so is she. But Phuket, we go in the morning. There's a chance I'll be streaming in the morning. Short stream, not too long. I don't want one of these 4-hour marathons. She's got some work to do for the first half of the day. So for me, the first half, for us, we might think, the first half of the day means 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you're done. For her, that's probably 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So we have the evening tomorrow, and then we have Saturday and Sunday. By the way, guys, planning another trip to the U.S. if anyone needs anything brought back. Well, there you go. I may need something brought back, Carlos. I don't know. I may need some Tommy Bahama shorts that I have sent to you and carried back to me because I refuse to pay. Here's the thing. Now, would I pay $140 for a pair of shorts if I had quite a bit more money or a fair bit more money? Yeah, I would, because I really like them and they last. They're a good value even at $140. Now, at $140, they're not as much of a value, but because I like them, the sentimental thing would get to me, and I'd be like, all right, I'll buy them. But for $65, $70, I'm like, okay, they're good. I like them. They're worth it, right? I had some Tommy Bahama cologne that was fantastic. I loved it. So, listen, I bought some cologne. It was the testers. The other day, I bought 100 of the testers. 20 baht each, and they're legit. They're not the fake stuff or any of that. They probably just got them, and they're trying to get something for them. Somebody worked at a cologne factory or a cologne place, and, they have all these samplers that they really give away. But here in Thailand, they sell them. In the United States, they just give them away. You buy a cologne, you buy some cologne, always ask for samples. Go, can I have some samples? Would you give me some samples, please? Ask for samples. I used to do it, and I think it's worthwhile. But anyway, let's get to this 10-year visa. This is important stuff, man. The new LTR, or long-term resident visa, becomes available September 1st of this year. It's a 10-year renewable visa. If you start a business, you are exempt from the 4 ties to 1 foreigner employment ratio requirement. You're on the fast track of international airports in Thailand. Your 90-day report now becomes a 1-year report, and you are exempt from having to have a re-entry permit. So you can come and go as you want. You have permission to work in Thailand. You can get a digital work permit, However, there is a 17% personal income tax for high-skilled professionals. So that's basically the lowdown on it. Now I'm going to go over the fine points in a moment. You're going to wear a crop top there, Dowlow. Dowlow, have you gone into any of these dispensaries? They're all over the place apparently now. But what do I know? I know nothing. But they're all over the place. Every major city has one now. I'm sure even the smaller cities have them. I'm gonna check it out in Phuket, just for my own. For my own, what's the word I'm looking for? For my own edification. But let's get into this long-term visa here. 4 categories of foreigners and their dependents, and here's a list of who qualifies for this visa and the application processes you can follow. This is considered high potential foreigners. Isn't that a nice way of putting it? That's a little bit nicer than saying only the affluent. Much nicer. This visa will provide a range of tax and non-tax benefits to enhance the country's attractiveness as a regional hub for living and doing business for high potential foreigners. This is the Board of Investment that is talking about this. 4 categories of that apply to foreigners here. Wealthy global citizens, individuals holding at least $1 million in assets. Now, if you're somebody who's 67 years old, listen, $1 million, it sounds like a lot, but really it's not all that much to some people. They might only be worth 1.5 million, and they've got a nice pension coming in as well. But, they've been saving 40, 50 years to get that money. So, they may not even have had a fantastic job where they're making a bundle of money, but they've saved religiously, and so now they've reached that $1 million threshold. Wealthy pensioners, retirees aged 50 years and older who have an annual pension or stable income. We're going to get into specifics in a second. Work from Thailand professionals, remote workers for established overseas companies. Highly skilled professionals. Professionals are experts in targeted industries, working for business entities, higher education institutes, research centers, or specialized training institutions in Thailand or Thai government agencies. Dependents, i.e. spouses and children under 20 years of age, will also qualify for the same visas. Under this long-term residence scheme, there will be various privileges for these visa holders, including a 10-year renewable visa, exemption from the 4 ties to 1 foreigner employment ratio, fast track. I already went over these. Immigration, one thing I didn't say, immigration and work permit facilitation services at the one-stop center for visa and work permit. Now, I've used that before in the past, and it was very, very straightforward. When the Thais got their act together, they really have it together, And like I've said, I've really only had one instance where anybody was even remotely rude, and they were not even that rude to me in Thai immigration, okay? They just did not like the income affidavit that I provided about 10 years ago, 11 years ago. They were like, this means nothing. I'm like, well, what did I go and pay $50 for to get the affidavit stamped and all that, notarized. The full qualifications. All right, let me see something here. Let me just take a look here. Let's see here. All right, I didn't see that, but let me see something else here. This is different. Here's that's different. What's this? 10-year. Okay. Because there is an article that came out in the Hua Hin today talking about this new visa. processing fee for the 10-year LTR visa is 50,000 baht per person. The fee was originally meant to be 100,000 baht per person. So if you got a family of 4, you would be paying 200,000 baht. Now, of course, they discount. They discount for you before 100,000. So, you know, they have reduced it from 100,000 to 50,000. Oh, kind-hearted souls. Isn't that wonderful? Now, let me go on here about the specifics. So, wealthy global citizens. You got to have $1 million in assets and a minimum personal income of 80,000 a year in the past 2 years. So that means if you go in, you're going to have to show 80 grand a year for the past 2 years. Really, that's not all that much, in my opinion. You know, it's not cheap, but, you know, if you really want to live here and you plan on living here and you don't want any concerns, not everybody is trying to live here on the cheap. Not everybody is trying to figure out, okay, what is the cheapest way that I can get there? Even these people might try to say, okay, well, is there any way I can cut some cost? But it says investment of at least 500,000 in Thai government bonds, foreign direct investment, or Thai property. Now, I believe you can have any one of these. That's how it works. You got $1 million in assets. I think you do have to have the minimum personal income of 80 grand a year for the past 2 years, or you can do the investment of 500 grand. You need health insurance with at least $50,000 of coverage, or social security benefits ensuring treatment in Thailand, or at least a $100,000 deposit for your health care. That's a pretty good deal, actually. You know, you got a bit of money, it's not a bad deal. Wealthy pensioners. This is one that I think is a little bit, to me, is a little bit better. Personal income of at least 80,000 a year at the time of the application. In case of personal income below $80,000 a year, but no less than 40,000 a year, applicants must invest at least 250,000 in Thai government bonds, foreign direct investment, or Thai property. Now, I know there are a lot of people out there, and some of these people might be people who are well off and have plenty of money. They don't want to invest. They don't want to spend this money in the Thai system. They don't trust it, you know. And I don't know that they should, to be completely honest. I really would have to look into it further to see, you know, just how trustworthy, how sound is it when they only protect you for up to $32,000. Now, you know, I don't know how it would work when it comes to the bonds and that sort of thing. Let me read some of these comments here. So I've not seen any up here in Nong Khai. Dre, what's happening? 500 or 50? 50,000 baht is the application fee. Let's see here. Scott, my hot dad in Southeast Asia, I smashed the like button. Thank you so much, Sammy. How you doing? How's Yipun, Japan? How's it doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to know you. One of these days I'm going to make it over there. I'm going to stop on the way back from the U.S. or something. I'm going to make a little trip and I'm going to go see Sammy. Big Sam in the house. It was hot. It's kind of simmered. Now it's kind of simmered down a bit, dude. Well, it's very hot here, as it always is. Next time I go to Thailand, we're hanging out and get some food for sure, dude. Okay. I'm gonna have to warn the restaurants ahead of time. Sammy's coming. You better have plenty of food here. Make sure it's all fresh and ready to go, because we plan on doing a mukbang. What is it? Mukbang? Mukbang. A mukbang. Well, now you can do a mukbang here. All right, let me continue here. Work from Thailand professionals. Now, this is the digital nomad. This is one form of the digital nomad visa. Okay? There is also something known as a smart visa, but I don't know that you can really consider that a digital nomad visa. All right, work from Thailand professional. Personal income of a minimum of 80,000 a year in the past 2 years. In the case personal income is below, not less than 40,000 in the past 2 years, applicants must have a master's degree or above, own intellectual property, or receive Series A funding. All right. I don't know how feasible that is for the masses, but I'm going to say not all that much. The people that I see, and listen, most of the people now, they're retirees that I see. I'm not involved in the workforce. It's been a long time since I've been involved in the workforce here, as in going into an office and doing actual work, like with a, dressed up and, going in a suit or going into a place and there's, hey, so-and-so, Picky is down on she's down on the first floor. Where's she at? She's supposed to be answering the phone. There's none of that going on anymore. Current employer, a public company on a stock exchange or private company in operation for at least 3 years with a combined revenue of at least $150 million in the last 3 years. So that in itself makes it very difficult for some people. Experience, at least 5 years of work experience in the relevant fields of the current employer over the past 10 years. Health insurance, 50,000. Social Security benefits, ensuring treatment in Thailand, or at least $100,000 deposit. Now, I would say, why do you want to go and do this? Why? What is it, 1 million baht? You get a 10-year elite visa? So for 1 million baht, you don't have to fork over any of this information. You don't have to qualify for anything. And that's really, my thing now is, okay, for retirees, it's pretty straightforward and easy to come here. Not everybody's going to like the method that you do everything. I understand that. For people who are married here, if you're younger and you're married, well, then you can stay here. Now, obviously, you have to be able to support yourself. But you can say, you can be 22 years old, you're married to a Thai woman, and you can live here for the rest of your life if that's what you want. I wouldn't go and get married just for the sake of getting married. I wouldn't do that anywhere in the world. I don't care if Thailand, the Philippines, Russia, why would you do that? Marriage is a huge commitment, believe me. So why would you do that? But if you're married, that's a way, if you're under 50, that you can stay here. If it's only a couple years until you hit 50, you can always do the education visa. You could always spring for a 5-year visa. You can do an education visa. You can do, what's the other one? Well, it's the education visa. An education visa, you can come in and leave every couple of months, stay somewhere for a couple of weeks, then come back. They'll let you do that. But it's a bit of a pain in the neck, and it can be a little bit expensive. But if you are of age, then you have the resources. These are some of the options. That's how they look at it, and I think that for some people this is a pretty good option. But I also think that listen, if you got 25, say 1 million baht, that's almost, it's a little bit less than 30 grand now. I don't know how much it is because of the exchange. I've been going by 30 or 33 for the past couple of years. And now it's quite a bit more. But the Thai baht is quite a bit weaker. So I think it's a good option for some people, but I do think that the elite visa is a good option too. This allows people to come and they really want to work here. And I've got a video coming up on the reasons that people come to Thailand. And it's very easy to say, oh, oh, they come for the ladies. No, they don't. They may come for it's icing on the cake, yada yada yada, but there are other things. Can you still enter on a tourist visa and then change it into a retirement visa? I believe so. It didn't used to be that you could do that, but I think you can do it. But you might have to go out of the country. I don't know. It's been so long now, and I should keep up on this. But they change the rules every so often. Let me see something here. Because I forget, and I know I've looked in the past couple of months. Yeah, you can, because there's a difference between applying outside of the country and inside of the country. So you should be able to. You can apply for the Thailand visa within Thailand or in a country you are a resident. It's extremely important you supply all the information, blah, 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 blah. All right, so. Yes, you can. I'm just not sure if what the deal is as far as, because there's a difference between getting the actual visa and getting the extension. You should just be able to get the extension here as well. You shouldn't have to go out of the country. I don't remember why I had to go out of the country. There was one time they were like, you need to go out of the country. It could have been because I was changing from a media visa or whatever to something else, and I think it was I was changing from not a tourist visa. I was changing from a marriage visa to a media visa, and they wanted me to go out of the country to get the extension. They gave me the visa inside, and I had to go. I think that's how it worked. About some Australian steak, blah blah blah. If you're 50 plus, you're not going to get a retirement visa if you're under 50. So there you go. Easier to get retirement visa after you arrive than before leaving your home country. There are some stipulations back in the States, like you need a police report. And a few other things, little bits of information you're going to need to provide. So, but let me go on here with this because I got one more category, and that is the highly skilled professional. Personal income of a minimum of $80,000 a year in the past 2 years. In the case of personal income below $80,000 dollars a year, no less than $40,000 per year. Applicants must have a master's degree or above in science and technology or special expertise relevant to the job assignment in Thailand. No minimum personal income for professionals working for Thai government agencies. The current employer, a business in any targeted industry, a higher education institution, research institution, specialized training institution, or Thai government agency. And that's a research institution. That could be somebody who wants to do marine research here in Thailand to see something about how the coral is affected by overfishing or whatever it is. That's for these kind of people. You got to be a specialist. You can't just be some schmuck who comes in, I want to stay in Thailand. Is this one of the ways that I can stay? This is probably not for you. It's like the guys that used to write me, I'm a plumber, or I'm a refrigerator repairman. I'm really good at my job. Can I go over there and become a plumber? No, you can't. You know why? Because Thais are plumbers too. What do you think? There's no plumbers here? There's no refrigerator repairmen? At least 5 years of work experience in the targeted industries, except for applicants with a PhD or above in the relevant fields of the targeted industries, or applicants working for Thailand government agencies. Health insurance, so this is across the board, the health insurance. At least $50,000 of coverage, which is peanuts. Or social security benefits ensuring treatment in Thailand, or at least $100,000 deposit. Yes, that is something, Jim, that you need to do. I forgot about that. That is considered the OA visa that you get outside of the country. And therefore, you need to make sure that you have insurance. You show the insurance in order to get your visa and then get your stay of extension. You're going to need to show that. At least you get your visa. I think at least if you do your visa, I don't know if they're going to ask for it when you get your stay of extension. I never had to do any of this stuff. And I've had probably 4 or 5 different kinds of visas. And I haven't ever had to show insurance, get a police report. Not that it would matter, quite honestly. It wouldn't matter. Nowadays, they will follow up on the master's degree. Believe me, you're not going to be coming over and getting some phony master's degree. You might go to some little rinky-dink, Thai school out in the village, and they don't have the resources to check up on you. But if you make it sound too good, they're going to be like, "Oh wow, this guy's fantastic." You get found out, then you're booted. That's it. You're gone. So I wouldn't recommend that. These are different times. And this is the thing. Thailand is progressing. Thailand is not third world in the sense where, they're still rubbing 2 sticks together. They're not. And like I was saying, they have their act together in many areas. I think I think the biggest problem is the government and what they release, the information they release, and how they release information. And maybe they don't care. They just don't give a shit. They're just oblivious. They're so out of touch. They don't care what people are saying. Or maybe they want to see what people say. They have people that look into this, and then they come back to them and they go, all right, well, we better not do that. Or, okay, that sounds great. Let's proceed. Really helpful when they find you. Is that master's degree? Okay. Degree in sociology, blah, blah, blah. All right. My immigration office was outstanding in how they helped out. Unfortunately, every Farang's favorite clerk no longer works there. Well, that happens. I hate to say that. I can't tell you how many old ladies have cooked for me or helped me in one capacity or another, and then all of a sudden they're gone. What happened to P so-and-so? Oh, now she stay home. She want relax with husband. She finished working. That kind of... That's happened many, many times. That's the thing. I do like the people. The people are great. They generally are not assholes. They're not douchebags here. Now, every once in a while you get one, of course. But I think that the government really needs to be careful how they release information, how they speak. I really think they need to figure it out if they want to take that next leap up. I don't think anybody really I personally don't have a problem with Thailand saying, hey, we want to be this fantastic, luxurious destination that caters to the rich and famous. I don't have a problem with it. But don't act like, hey, well, we don't want the backpackers anymore. If you don't have the money, you can't come here. It's too expensive for you. That's the hoity-toity, snobby kind of attitude that I will never have. And I can guarantee that. I would bet my life on that. You will never see me being a snob like that. However... you have to understand that they're trying to... You have to look at it 2 ways. One is that... they have to think about their country. They have to think about the people. They have to think about the revenues. And, this is something else that people don't remember. You turn off the people, the younger people who come... You turn those people off to coming to Thailand because, it's too expensive now. You don't have the different levels set up, which they've had this for a long time, so why are they going to try to change it? You don't even have to say anything. Just start doing the marketing and just don't release it to the news. Just start doing your marketing. Get these places. And, the thing is the Thai government is not going to do anything. It's these places that are these high-end destinations, these high-end resorts. Now, granted, something like a 10-year visa where you're looking for millionaires and that kind of thing, okay, great, that'll happen. And what my point was, and I think what this person here, Keith, just said, you alienate the people who have been coming here for years, the backpackers, the college people who are on a gap year. You alienate the adults who are bringing kids like me when I was a young teenager. And you hear your parents talking about, man, I see they screwed me on this one, Margaret. That kind of thing. This place, I can't believe they're doing this to me. Now, that's not how it is for the most part. But, in the long run, all these people, it's a compounding, it compounds over the years, just like interest. And this is a negative interest. So if you start pissing these younger people off, and they start, man, I went on my gap year and I got screwed. Then they become rich. Now, two things are going to happen. They're going to come back here. And they're going to go, hey, you know what? I'm going to go back there and I'm going to have so much money, I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want. They can piss off. Or they're going to be like, no, you know what? I got money. I'm going to spend my money elsewhere, which is the more likely scenario. They're going to go somewhere else. Thailand and the Thai government and the tourism, the people involved with the tourism industry here, in the government, seem to have this impression, the Asian thinking, which is, hey, we have a great product. You're lucky to give us your money and be able to come here. Westerners have the opinion, hey, I'm paying good money, I damn sure better get a high quality product. And that is the big difference. And it always will be until they decide, hey, we're not catering to Thais. We're catering, internationally, we're catering to people who are foreign to our culture, and they're not going to understand this way of thinking. They don't like it. No, nobody really likes it. Now, people who have that screw you money, the FU money, they don't want to be bothered by this shit. They don't care. Yeah, okay, I'll come here. I'll pay $1,000 a night because I want the best room. I want the best room on the island. Okay, it's $2,000. That's all right. I'll pay it. I'm only going to be there a week. Yeah, there's people like that, but how many people in the world are like that? So I think Thailand's going to fall short. Now, one other thing that I want to talk about before closing out here is that Cambodia also, like magically, came out with a 10-year visa right around the same time that Thailand has announced it. Let me just read this real quick here. I had one clerk at the provincial office who had a stick up her ass. She was miserable. Fortunately, I work out with her big boss who asked me how things were going. She then moved quicker. Yeah. I don't know. There's always going to be people like that. She could have a bad day every time you come in. You don't know. She could be fighting with her boyfriend. I mean, that's the thing. You never know. And fortunately, those instances are few and far between. What really gets me is not so much the government workers. I think the government workers, they have this, they know the chance of them getting fired is very slim. And they get benefits and, they have some clout. They may not make all that much money, but they have a little bit of clout. It's viewed as a lofty position, a nice position in society here. What gets me is when you go into a place, and this has happened, it happens once or twice a month. And it happened the other day. I don't really remember where it was, but I think I was trying to get something. I can't remember where, but you go into a place, and the place is empty, or they got one person. And you got that one person's being taken care of by somebody. There's some little girl helping a guy or whatever over there. Okay. And you got 4 or 5 people, they're standing around, they're all running around, or they're standing there writing something. And you're standing there going, they'll help. Excuse me, excuse me. And then they come over, they push their friend over because they don't know if you speak Thai. And I'll tell you what, one thing I like about Starbucks is that for the most part, if they see you standing there and somebody's taking a long time to ring up, because you get these ladies who are going, I want a cocoa, and I want a vanilla cream, and let me see, does this one come with sugar? And they just stand there, and it's a 30-minute ordeal. You get somebody else, they come run right over, oh, what can I do for you? Do you need any help? They're good at that. 99% of the time, they're very, very good at that. So I will give them some props for that. Now, regarding this Cambodia visa, this is called the 10-year golden visa. So Cambodia is going straight up. They're meeting Thailand head on with this golden visa, this 10-year visa. They've launched something called the Second Home Program to encourage foreign investment in the country. The program features a 10-year-long golden visa with unlimited entry and exit and other benefits. How does it compare with Thailand's 10-year LTR visa? Okay. Applicants must be a foreign investor with the investment capital of no less than $100,000 US in Cambodia, own a real estate project in Cambodia, and be a citizen of a country recognized by the Cambodian government. No academic qualifications or language proficiency are required. There is no application fee. Now, I don't know about this real estate project. I can't imagine that, they mean you can, you just got to build a house. But $100,000. Benefits of the program include a 10-year visa with unlimited exit and entry and an option to apply for citizenship after 5 years. Wow, that's huge. The program is the only way for a foreigner to apply for a Cambodian passport. That's pretty wild, man. Pretty crazy. Details on how to apply for the Golden Visa are outlined on Cambodia's official My Second Home website. Applicants will receive their Cambodia My Second Home membership number in 7 days, and the visa will be processed within 14 days. A Cambodian spokesperson said the Golden Visa is aimed at foreign professionals, but wealthy retirees would also be considered as long as they meet the minimum investments. We will judge every application on its merits rather than issuing lengthy checklist. There are 7 requirements to apply for this 10-year visa. The applicant must be a citizen recognized by Cambodian government, must obtain approval from the Ministry of Interior, must be 18 years or older, have investment capital of not less than $100,000, own a real estate project approved by the Cambodian government. The applicant is eligible for a personal bank account and trust account. The applicant does not require to submit proof of language competence or academic qualifications. Okay, so, there's a hell of a lot less hoops to jump through with the Cambodian visa. Not everybody wants to live in Cambodia, though. Now, Cambodia has been progressing and improving by leaps and bounds. And I said this a while ago. I did that video comparing Thailand and Cambodia, something like 8 years ago. And I said, is Cambodia going to be the same as Thailand? It would never be the same as Thailand. It would never be, I don't want to say as good. Because what is good, it's all subject to what you think is good or bad or in between. And the thing is, Thailand does not have the natural resources, the natural geography that Thailand has to offer that allows people, it's not as diversified. You got mountains here, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, all over the place. You got Isan, which is completely different. You got the beaches. You got the jungles. Cambodia doesn't have all that. Not in the same quantity, not in the same quality as Thailand. It will never be the same. However, if you want a place to live where people generally don't mess with you, and you got the money and you just want to live a peaceful existence for the last 20 years of your life, hey man, it's not that bad of a deal. 100 grand, that's like 3 million, not even 3 million baht, and you have to build yourself a house. That's it. All right, let me read some of these messages here. Raise the prices and rich people will come. Yeah, let me just rate. I'm gonna, I've got this. The reason I keep saying Volkswagen Bug is because there's a lady on the block here who has a Volkswagen Bug, and it's just that the thing's got to be like a 1970 or 1969 VW Bug. And, she doesn't have it really fixed up all that well, but it's not in terrible shape. But, it's like, oh, well, this thing is worth $5,000. How about I charge $100,000? You want it? Because, it's a classic. You got to pay $100 grand. How many people are going to go, oh, okay. Thailand needs to look at other destinations to get a realistic view of how it compares. The government has a really inflated view of their country. Of course they do. Thailand #1. That's why everybody want to come Thailand. Why you not want to live your own country? That's how they think. And then everybody from Thailand wants to go to America. They don't understand that there are flaws in the system that that people don't want to ignore. They no longer wish to ignore those flaws. Whereas in Thailand, it's like, all right, yeah, this is flawed, but I can ignore it. Even the two-tiered pricing, you can ignore it because it doesn't happen every single place. It's not like China. We had to go to 3 different Bangkok branches before us finally open an account. Some of the clerks were really dismissive. Well, Dallo, I don't know if I told you this, but it's very simple to do this. What you need to do is go to the Bangkok Bank website, print out a page from their website, and there is a page that addresses opening an account, a foreigner opening an account, and what is required, which basically is some sort of address verification. Okay? So that means going to the embassy and getting a paper that, just the paper where you write down your address and they notarize it. You got to pay the money. It's like $50, $60. And then you bring it back to the bank. Boom, they open it up. Now, each branch is separate from the main branch. However, that you can call the main branch and go, listen, it says in your website I can open an account here. Oh, yes, sir. Well, then why am I at your bank and they won't open an account for me? And then they will speak to the person. And I've had that happen to me. And that branch that I opened the account is no longer open. So it used to be that my Bangkok Bank branch was down in, Klong Tan. Not that far, but still a little bit farther than I wanted because the mall is right there. All right, I for some reason it got transferred to there, and then I was like, I don't want it here. I want it at the Mall Bangkok. They transferred it to the little branch that's outside. And they were horrible, actually. And Bangkok Bank tends to be very good, but they're a bit slow, and, they've got this mentality like, let's sit there and wait. They don't have the same mentality as, say, Kasikorn Bank, my Kasikorn Bank in the mall, which tends to be very, very good, very service-oriented. But, I think I've told the story where, like, they've checked bills when I brought U.S. bills in to be changed, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, honey, I got this from the exchange at the airport. If there's something wrong with it, let me know. And she was just pissy about it. And, I called her out on it. And I said, what's your name? And then all of a sudden, things started to change. But anyway, Those sort of wealthy people have employees to take care of that stuff. Exactly. They don't want to waste their time doing that. I'm so pleased to finally get an account. Took lots of running around, though. You didn't have to run around. But okay, you got it done. That's what's important. And I know, in the beginning, it's a little more difficult. And that's why I keep all my accounts open. Some of them, I throw in 100 baht, 200 baht every once in a while just to make sure that I got some money in there so they know I'm still putting money in. I'm still using the account. Because some of them will just close your account. If you don't use it for a year or two, they just close your account. Oh, we thought you were done. Sorry. Is a bank account required? Yes. I know people say, oh, I don't need a bank account. You know what? You want a freaking bank account here. You do. You do. Get one. How are you going to transfer money? You're going to transfer money, you don't have an account there. Yes, you can do it, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah, okay. I understand. I use TransferWise. I have a Charles Schwab account. What do you want to do? Every time you need money, you want to just be carrying around a bunch of cash? You want to keep the cash? I mean, I have a bank account. I have bank accounts that I built up over the years. I think it's important. I understand. But why do you want to have to go to the ATM every time you need money? You can just pay for stuff right out of your Thai account here in Thailand. You don't even have to take money out of the bank. I will say this. Is it imperative that you have a Thai account here? No. Is it important? Probably. And, one of the things, now they've done away with this apparently as of July 1st, but one of the things that I was saying is, connect your line up with your bank in Thailand. Guess what? You can pay for your electricity. You can pay for all kinds of stuff. Not only that, you get a better rate on your internet service. It's not that Kasikorn is better. No, I don't want to say that. Bangkok Bank is a good bank. Kasikorn's a good bank. At least they provide good service most of the time. Siam Commercial is good. They're all pretty good. I don't use some of the smaller ones, but I mean, I use I have UOB. I have Thai, Thai Direct or Thai, used to be Thai Military Bank. I have Siam Commercial. I have Kasikorn. I have Bangkok. I have 2 Bangkok bank accounts. Well, if you're using Charles Schwab, you're not paying anything. They refund everything, or they just don't charge. Like my bank account, my bank in the U.S. doesn't charge me to make a withdrawal. Now, the funds that come out for the Thai account are refunded. So they're going to charge you 220 baht, but you're going to get that money back, which I think is how Charles Schwab does it. But there is something to be said to have money here. Gennaro, you want to transfer some money to some chick that's in Thailand here. Well, you got cash. You go to the bank. You go, oh, I want to put the money in her bank account. Okay, you still got to make a trip to the bank. Why not just go on your phone? Boom, I sent her 5,000 baht. I send my kids money on my phone. It's brilliant. I can't do it from the U.S. It's a lot more difficult. So, there's something to be said for having a Thai bank account. You can pay your electric bill. You can pay your water bill. All you got to do, you get the bill out, take your phone out, you scan it with the bank account, little scan code, boom, paid. Done. End of story. So I would recommend a bank account, at least one bank account for everybody. I only had the Kasikorn account. The only reason I have a Kasikorn account, and I may have gotten one regardless or irregardless, but when I was teaching English, 27 years ago, the school required you to have a Kasikorn bank in order to get paid by them. So, I got a Casicorn Bank. Bangkok Bank's mobile app is very good. They're all pretty good, to be honest. I mean, I can't, where's my phone? Oh, I'm streaming on it. So, yeah, would I recommend one bank over another? I think Bangkok Bank is and I like Siam Commercial as well. I think those two are very, very good. And I also think Casicorn is good in terms of service. It depends on it really depends on, what you're comfortable with and who you want to use. Where's the nearest ATM? Where's the nearest cash deposit? Sometimes I will have some cash. I might have 4,000 or 5,000 baht. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have this in my pocket, burning a hole in my pocket because I'm going to piss it all away. I go to the ATM. If I got $5,000, I put $4,000 in the cash deposit. I put it in an account. I use one account just for the grab. I use one account just for Happy Fresh to make deliveries from the grocery. Like today, I got to place a delivery here because we're going away, and I want to make sure every kid's got plenty of cereal and stuff that they can just chow down without cooking. Krungsri, the wife has an account at Krungsri, rather. I don't know. I never got into them. I never really thought about getting one. I got enough bank accounts now. I don't need to get it. And she's got one. If I really need to do something with their bank, she's got an account there. So, and she's got, I got one credit card from Thailand. She has like three or four, and she only uses one, thankfully. So the banking is, the banking here, listen, they got their act together when it comes to their financial institutions. For the most part, anything can happen. Believe that. Look at the episode where the guys got money stolen from them. I don't know how long ago it was, but anything can happen. Yeah, well, that's not really how it works in Bangkok, Jim. The statement of your funds, when you give it, they want a certain type of statement that only a bank officer can issue, and it shows all the codes that say are international. If you're getting money internationally sent to you, like from a pension fund or something like that, they want to see that code. Yeah, now they will charge you for this. However, I don't have any problem with them they don't charge me any money every time I go in and do a transaction. I don't know, what account you're using, but they don't do that to me. What I will say is that I've noticed that lately, if I use my US bank card in like the grocery store, the mall has started assessing an international fee. They never did that before. I don't know if it's been separated or what, but they charge, and it's, it's like, usually it's like 13 cents or, something like that. It's a very small amount, but still, everybody's trying to make money. Think about it. And I understand from a business standpoint. You want to get a statement from a bank, it's $32,000 US. I think it's 1 million baht. You want to get a statement from your account, and you're not getting it from the ATM. From the ATM, it's free. You go in, and you want to get a special statement. Okay, you're sitting there. Somebody's going to have to help you. That's manpower. They're taking time to help you. They're printing out. They're using their resources. So I understand they're trying to charge you money. I do. I don't like it, especially because the last time that I did that, many years ago, I did it. Oh my God, it was like pulling teeth. They did not want to do it. And I'm like, God damn it. I'm like, listen, I have an account here. I want you to do this. You please get it done. And it was a nightmare. It took me like 2 hours. And it should have taken me 5 minutes. But, you know, that happens sometimes. You go into the bank and you want something, they're like, oh, well, I don't know if we can do that. I'm like, yes, you can do it. I've checked with your main branch. Of course they can do it. You know. So, well, I mean, there's always going to be, there's always going to be people who, you know, they're going to try to find a way to make money from it. You know, the corporate, that's what they're in business for. Banks are not in business to lose money. Otherwise, they go out of business. There is, Gennaro. There is. Now, you know, I mean, I guess we could just say, oh, let the country will just let us in for free and we can stay forever and, oh, we're going to be so happy here. You wouldn't be. It would digress into chaos. That's what I just said, Gennaro. Did you not hear me? $32,000, approximately $32,000 or 1 million baht. But that is across all accounts. So if you can't just put 30,000, 30,000, 30,000, 30,000 and you'll be insured. No. If something happened to two of the bank accounts, you had 30,000 each. You lost 60,000. You're only insured up to 32 or approximately. So, you know, and that's something else to consider. Listen, it's easy to get here. It is easy to get here. But you can, if you do some research, if you listen to some of the things that I say, you don't have to believe in everything I say or take everything that I say as the gospel. Sometimes I just don't know or I'm not sure or I forget. But if you want, you know, listen to everything that's said by me and some of the other people who have some experience being here. And you do your own research. And then you are as prepared as you can be. You didn't have this when I came over here. There was none of this. It wasn't available. I mean, me to find out about getting a bank account and all this kind of stuff, it wasn't available. It was not available. You know, you could maybe have a friend who did it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll have to do that. You know, and then you travel over and you find out, oh, but things have changed, or no, that's not how it is. I mean, listen, I heard something about, you know, Vietnam, they were giving you 15% interest. I was like, whoa. Do I really want to do that? And then now it's not 15% anymore. You know, same with Ecuador. They were offering all this interest and, you know, put the money in, you earn this much. And sounds great, right? So, but nothing beats being here. You can listen to me and you'll hear all these stories and you hear, oh, I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's true. Yes, you're dead right. Okay, all this other kind of stuff. But once you get here, you will see that, you know, there's nothing that will ever beat your own on-the-ground experiences. Even negative experiences. Because believe me, in the beginning, I had a lot of them where I was getting upset. Good morning, Mr. Nicholas. Or, yeah, it is morning. Okay. Scott says may be true at one area or institution, may be false everywhere. Every officer, every agency views things differently. I don't know, but I would say every office and every agency, not to nitpick. But yeah, you know, like you go into one bank and they're going to be like, okay, 500 baht, please. Boom, you can open up an account. You go down to Pattaya, you want to open an account in Pattaya. Some of the places are like, okay, that'll be 3,500 baht. 3,500 baht for what? To open an account. What? They're out of their mind. You know, they operate separately. However, do your research, look online, find out the head office, speak to somebody at the head office, get their name. Oh, this is Tui. Okay, Tui. Thank you very much. You go to the branch. No, sir, we not do. Sorry. You'll go somewhere else. And you go, I spoke to Tui at your head office. Shall I call her? Let me call her. You get on the phone, you make, Tui, I'm having a problem here. I can't open it. Can you talk to them? Boom. Done deal. That's how it works. And, you know, it can happen. And I do say, I will say that, you know, obviously speaking the language or having a wife or somebody you trust with you can help. Good morning, Daniel. How you doing? I do think that it helps. There's another reason to have some kind of language skills here. I think it's important. You know, and you know, for me, while I love the fact that if I need anything, I just tell my wife, hey, can you go get it for me? Or tell my kids, when you want to go get that? I know they can handle it, right? Now the kids can handle everything. You know, they're older. When they were younger, obviously it was a little more difficult, but now they you know, they're dialed in. And if I need their help, they can help me. They can go get stuff. They can go accomplish things. And sometimes if I need something and I'm like, man, I really need some help with me, okay, then they can come too. Or somebody can come. It's always nice to have that. But I, personally, like to be able to do shit on my own. I like to be able to take care of things myself. I don't want to have to worry about getting ripped off for a couple pieces of chicken every time I go to the chicken stand. I want to know, this is what it costs. Okay, and then that's it, it's done. Hey, this piece of chicken's 20 baht. Because they don't always have the prices. I don't want to always have that. You know, I don't want that kind of, you know, oh, here comes the white guy. I'm going to charge him more money. You know, some places are better than others for that. Some places they wouldn't even consider doing that. And other places would be like, oh, here comes the ATM machine. You know, right, Nicholas? What are you doing? Making oatmeal? You training today? Yeah. All right. You want to show those big guns? Nicholas got the big guns now. Let me see. You still need a little more refinement. You need to cut it up a little bit, but that'll come. You're getting some size on you. He's out there lifting weights. He's lifting weights on a regular basis now. Anyway, yeah, you know, if you go to a bank, that's why Dowlow, you go to one bank and they say yes, you go to another, they say no. It's because they're all on their own. My boss says it's okay. You know, well, the head office, their policy is this. So usually if you can get like the headquarters or head office involved, it will help alleviate some things, but not always, because, listen, you go to immigration and you get, you know, Sue Ellen helping you. One day, Sue Ellen is helping you and everything is gold. It's so easy. It's the easiest process. I don't need all these papers I thought I would need. The next day you go and Large Marge is helping you and she's a bitch and she makes your life difficult. That's how it works. And guess what? The policy might be different. You're like, wait a minute. It says, but you can't do that. And that's something, that is a flaw in their system, in my opinion. It's meant to be something that gives them some leeway, but I think in the Thai system, I think I mean, you know, yeah, okay, it gives them leeway. It does. It accomplishes that, but I think also that it gives some people the power to basically ignore certain rules that, like, you feel like, oh wow, wait a minute, it says this. Why do I have to do it that way? Well, you know, and they don't have to answer you. That's the thing. So, the one thing that Jim has that's good going for him is that he's in a local area. He goes in, there's not a whole lot of foreigners there. He goes in, he's nice to them, they like him. No problem. Boom, simple. Gets treated well. And there's only so many people working there. So he goes in, boom, okay, done. You go somewhere in Bangkok, And, you know, I try not to go. Anytime I can get out of going, I get out of it. You can go into Bangkok, you're never going to see the same person. It might be 5 years before you got the same person helping you, or you may never see them again. You know, and it could have been. I've had some immigration officers. They were the nicest people. They were friendly. They wanted to know all about me. They wanted to know about my wife and kids. They wanted to know about this and that. And then I've had some people that you're just sitting there and you're like, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You know, so. Anyway, I think we're buy them a beer or a coffee when you see them at the local hangout. Well, that doesn't happen in Bangkok very often. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen any immigration officer out at some local hangout. But that's a good thing about where you are is you very well might. They might be your neighbor. You know, so that's a good thing in a way. Um, you know, what I find, and you know, yesterday I was on the boat, and I get to this little, you know, the little pier, and there's a little guy in a uniform. He's there, you know, making sure everybody's getting on and off, and um, you know, the guy was so friendly. You want to know everything, you know, what's going on. He just was generally interested, and I find it, and he was, you could see he was not somebody who was like, you know, some Bangkokonian who has been living here all his life. He was from the upcountry, and he just was interested. And I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? You know, and the next thing you know, I'm in a 10-minute conversation with him. You know, yeah, there is a difference in areas for sure. Hopefully, they stick to the main tenets of their law, and usually they do. Um, you know, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But you know, the big immigration boss is my neighbor, but he is not among those who do the approvals. No, and honestly, you don't want to mess around with him. You don't want to get into conversations about your status and about your visa. And that. You know what? If you do, it's going to cost you. You really don't want to get into that. And there's no reason for it. He doesn't need to deal with that. You know, that's why he's the big boss. He doesn't want to deal with the little, you know, little issues that his subordinates are supposed to be dealing with. Now, if there was some emergency situation and you had to count on him, okay, yeah, it's good you can go to him. But then you're going to owe him in one way or the other, you know. So, this is Thailand. Yes. Right, Nicholas? Daniel says, good morning, Nicholas. He says, good morning. Are you having peanut butter in your oatmeal? Why not? You can have some. Yeah. We have some nice unsweetened peanut butter. Paul's peanut butter. Good stuff, unsweetened. It goes well if you mix it up real good in oatmeal. So, you know, this is the thing. You go to one place up in Chiang Rai and the immigration office is going to be different than if you go, or even, you know, the border patrol, the border guards are going to be different than down in Masot, and they're going to be different down in Surat, and they're going to be different in Bangkok from Pattaya, you know, and so you have to kind of take that into consideration. It seems that Jim's found his way. He knows the right people. That always helps. You just have to be careful to. They like their status. That's something I'll say. You know, and who wouldn't? I understand. You're the head of an immigration department, even if it is a local immigration. You should be proud of that, and they are, you know. So you got to give them their props and respect them for that and all that. And if you do that, listen, Thailand is not that hard of a place to get along with people. If I can do it, you can do it. You know, really. I mean, maybe in parts of the United States it's difficult. Maybe it's very easy in other parts. It's the same thing, you know. You really want to get along with people, you will. Anyway. So, uh, if you're gonna, if you plan on staying here, maybe you should consider the 10-year visa. I don't know. Maybe you're in that category where you can, uh, you know, you can use that to your advantage and be here for 10 years. Or maybe you can just get a 10-year elite visa. Or maybe you can just get a year-to-year visa, whatever. There are a lot of different ways to go about skinning a cat, so to speak. Well, yeah, that's good. That's good to have a good reputation in the little area that you're at, and for sure, you want to protect that. You want to guard that. You know, I think just being decent to people, they understand that foreigners might not always understand everything about their culture. They may be confused, or whatever it might be, whatever kind of emotion sets you off, emotion you choose to have at the time. They may understand that. They're very tolerant people. So, I think if you're just decent, most of them, they're fine. You don't have any problems here. This is honestly, once you're set in here, I mean, you think about all the guys here, um, you know, that have been here for quite some time now. Like guys like Jono, Jim's been here for a while now. Patia Bob, there's all kinds of guys. This Soy Dog Cowboy stays here for 6 months out of the year. Pre-pandemic. Longhorns, comes here, and there are several other, of course, Chucky. But there are a lot of people that have settled here over the years, and they don't have really any issues. They have no problem. They may bitch and moan about this price went up, or this is the deal with that. Why are things different now than they used to be? Why did they change this? It was so good the way it used to be. But for the most part, I think and I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know about living in some other countries because I haven't really lived in other countries. I've been in other countries for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but never have I been anywhere as long as I've been in Thailand, obviously. But Thailand works for me, and that's the thing. It can work for you too. I believe that. I truly do. The 10-year visa. Let me. I got to get these. I'm going to put the links up here in the description. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe I should do one at a time here. All right. These are the guidelines. Okay, those are the guidelines, and I'm going to give you something else here as well. This is a brochure. Yeah, that here in our village, I would say once every couple of months, somebody comes ringing the doorbell, and I'm like, who's at that door? Why's at the door now? I didn't order anything. And then you go to the door, and there's a basket of fruit. Like a big basket or a big box of fruit. One of the neighbors just wanted to give us some fruit. They're always like that. It's a, you know, it's nice. All right, so there's the guidelines for this 10-year visa. There's the brochure. And I'm going to put up also this new golden visa, this article about the golden visa. My second home uh, in Cambodia. I'm going to put that up for you guys as well. There you go. There it is. That's new. So if you're considering Cambodia, you got something there. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I try to temper things evenly. All this good stuff, it does outweigh the bad stuff here. But for some people, it takes some time to work through some of the things and to understand. And maybe there are some people who are irritated more easily than others. So I find myself now going, it doesn't matter. It's not important. Might been right. You know, I find myself doing that all the time now. Taking me some years to get to that point. And some people, they live in their own little areas, whether it's Jim, Jono, Soy Dog when he's down in Pattaya, Pattaya Bob, Pattaya, what's his name? Pattaya Pete, all these guys. They got their own little thing set up. They got their, let me say it again, they got their ideal expat lifestyle set up, and they're happy with it. At least everybody seems pretty happy. You know, I know people, they're bitching and moaning about Thailand. And there are things you can gripe and groan about. Yes, there are. Definitely. But you got to look at the big picture, and I think that the scale, you know, is not even. There's a hell of a lot of good things. Hey, listen, I'm going to Phuket this weekend. I'm going to Phuket with the wife this weekend. You know, I've said many times, it's not my favorite place, but it is a nice place. I do like it. You know, it's kind of like Chiang Mai for me, except it's a beach, which makes it a notch above Chiang Mai. And there's some nice places, and my wife really knows the area much better than I do. So you know, there are a few places that I'm going to go and see, and so I'm looking forward to it. I mean, you know, it's like, hey, you want to go somewhere? It's a hop, skip, and a jump. It's a dance, a little song. You know, you play a little song and a dance, and boom, you're there. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you very much there, Tom's Crazy World at the buzzer. Coming in at the buzzer, I appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Early afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Appreciate you joining me. But, yeah, I mean, you know, and she's kind of like, yeah, all right, we're going down there. I got to get this done, and then we're going to have some time. And, you know, it's like I've been there a million times practically. But it'll be nice to get away. Just like going to Kanchanaburi was nice the other day. It's nice just to get out and see, okay, hey, you know, one of the things is, remember, a year ago, I went there and showed everything that's going on, and man, that place was dead. Everything was shut down. It's going to be wonderful to go and see. The flower has bloomed and things are opening up again. I really want to see that. I hope that's what I see. I hope I see some beautiful beaches, and that's what I plan on. So please join me. It may be tomorrow morning. I just need to see what time. I know we're flying in the morning, but I'm not sure what time. I'm not sure what time we're going to get there and all that. But I do plan on doing a stream. It'll be either tomorrow morning, tomorrow night, or Saturday morning. Of course, that's Thailand time, Thailand's days. Tomorrow is Friday in Thailand. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope everybody joins me. And let me put something up here. Let me see if I can do this real quick before I go. Let's see here. I believe I will be spending some time in Old Phuket Town. Yes, that's on my list. If you have not already seen these videos, I would recommend them. First is this video I put up the other day about Thailand and the Anatin or whatever, and how he only wants the wealthy to come here, which I just think that it rubs people the wrong way that he says that. The fact that he says that rubs people the wrong way. And then this one right here, which, listen, I really like to see this. This really, I will say, the second video, the woman who is a tourist police officer, her happiness made me feel good. She was very happy that there were people walking around and they were there as tourists and things were good and they're looking up. There's hope again. And it made me feel good to hear her say, the nice things that she said, and her happiness was infectious, we'll say. As opposed to Anatin and his comments about the dirty Farang did it. They're responsible for all of this mess, which we know now is complete. That shows how ludicrous that statement is. Blame it on the dirty Farang. Anyway. All right, so let's see. What else do I have here? I think I'm just about done. It's time to wrap it up. If you have any questions or comments or thoughts on the matter, these matters we discussed today, or any others, please feel free to leave a comment down below. As I said, we'll be heading to Phuket. That'll be nice. And then after that, I think it's down to Suratani, maybe even Malaysia. I don't know. We'll see. Depends. Don't forget to get yourself a shirt or a hat or a mug at AmericanInBangkok.com. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember that whether it's in Thailand or elsewhere, there is a way, there is a path to getting to the expat lifestyle, becoming an expat, becoming a Farang. It could be a Farang, could be a Barang in Cambodia, it could be a Nanginchada in Myanmar, it could be anywhere in the world. You're a gringo, whatever you want to go. It's possible. You want to get away bad enough, you'll do it, and you can do it. Know what I'm saying? Australia is begging to get backpackers back, need them to do work in farms and factories. Well, in Thailand they don't really have that problem. They have Burmese and Laotians and Cambodians. They have a group of people that do this already. They don't want the dirty Farang to do this. So, anyway, I think that's all. Anything else? Check down the description. Check it out. Read it. Learn it. Understand it. Ask me a question. Whatever it is. But thank you very much for joining me. Appreciate it. Thanks for the contributions. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time. So until next time, I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke D, Leo, Jerk at my Jim. Take it easy. Have fun out there. One of these days I'll make it up there. Or you'll make it down here. Choke D, Leo, Jerk and my. That's good luck. And see you later. All right. So I'll see you when I see you. That's it. I'm done. Goodbye.